Let me tell you about a chilling story connected to an old hotel room known as Room 310. This happened to a woman who was driving from Washington to California one winter evening. Snow had started falling, and after hours of driving, she became tired and decided to stop for the night in a small town in Oregon. The first place she found was an old hotel on the main street. When she walked into the lobby, the place smelled musty and old. The man behind the front desk looked tired and unfriendly. He quietly signed her in and gave her a room on the third floor, room 310. An elderly bellhop helped her carry her luggage upstairs. When he opened the door, a blast of hot air rushed out of the room and hit her face. But the heat wasn't the worst part. The woman suddenly felt a strange, heavy feeling in the room. She later described it as a feeling of pure dread, almost like the scent of something evil in the air. She felt dizzy and weak, like she might faint. The bellhop adjusted the radiator and opened the window to cool the room before leaving. After he left, the room slowly cooled down. But the terrible feeling only grew stronger. The woman began to feel that the fear was coming from the open window. She stared into the dark night outside and suddenly felt something strange happening in her mind. It was as if a voice was whispering inside her thoughts. The voice told her to walk to the window. Then it told her to jump. The urge became stronger and stronger. She felt like she was losing control of her own body. She grabbed the bed sheets, trying to stop herself from walking toward the window. She truly believed that if she stayed there, she would throw herself out and die. Summoning all the strength she had left, she crawled out of the room and ran down the stairs to the lobby. She told the staff she could not stay there another minute. Strangely, the clerk did not ask any questions. He simply returned all of her money and let her leave. The woman checked into another hotel that night, but the experience disturbed her so much that the next day she decided to investigate the history of the old hotel. She went to the town library and spoke with an elderly librarian. The woman asked if anything strange had ever happened at that hotel. The librarian looked surprised. She said it was strange that the woman had asked that question because the hotel had tried for years to hide a terrible story. Then the librarian explained what had happened. Back in 1948, a man and a young woman had checked into the same hotel. They registered as Mr. and Mrs. Oscar Smith and were given room 310. The next morning, hotel workers discovered the woman's body lying on the sidewalk directly below the window of that room. The man who checked in with her had completely disappeared. At first, the police believed the woman had committed suicide, but when they opened her hand, they found something shocking. She was gripping a handful of dark curly hair that did not belong to her. That meant she had fought someone before falling from the window. The police began searching for the man who had checked in with her, believing he was the murderer, but he was never found. Then the librarian added one final detail that made the woman freeze. The death had happened on November 5th, exactly 40 years before the night the traveler had stayed in room 310.